You get John Wick, but with no dialogue. Feels like you got the Wish version of him. Hi, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Addie.
So, Silent Night. This movie stars Joel Kinnaman, victim of gang violence, and it feels like it's been a while since we've seen him on screen. The last thing I remember with him in it was Suicide Squad. But I was excited to see him on screen again, and this is also directed by John Woo. He has a lot of classic films under his belt, quite a few. So this got a couple of people a little hyped up about the film, myself included. But man, this movie sucked.
It was bad. It was really bad.
It takes a while to get the ball rolling, and I rarely fall asleep in the theater, but I was dozing off.
You were snoozing. Yeah, we also missed the first couple of minutes. I'm not entirely sure how much.
My hot dog took too long.
So we walked in and the movie was like already started, and I thought I was just like, oh, like we missed like the key, background setting type of details. But I feel like we still ended up getting a good enough understanding of what was happening, so it didn't feel like we missed out on much. Which is, I guess, not good if they keep reiterating things the entire movie.
Yeah, so because you do still get that flashback that shows what happens. It's like, I thought that had happened before. But yeah, so.
But yeah, they just dragged it on quite a bit. It's more like a shooting movie instead of like a thriller.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even that. It felt like the whole first hour was just setup, and really bad setup. You can't care for the character. I didn't care about any of the characters.
There hardly was any. He killed them all.
Well, not even that. That's not the point. Like, I mean, like, the point is, like, you don't care about them because, like, no one's talking. You don't know. You can't associate with them in any way. You don't know what they sound like. You can't hear them grieving. Like, it's understandable that he doesn't talk because he got shot apparently in his throat, right? Adam's apple, whatever it may be. So he can't speak, right? He somehow survived, but he cannot speak anymore, which is fine. But no one talks in the movie, and like there's integral parts that could have shown a lot of emotion where his wife is talking to him, but instead of talking and showing that emotion, she sends a text or a handful of texts.
Yeah, that was
when they're in the same house. I get it because it's maybe like, oh, I'm trying to keep my distance, but even in other points of the movie, it's like the entire way there's nothing, there's no conversation, so it just made it really hard to connect with anybody.
Yeah, I know that was like the point that we're trying to go for, like since he can't talk, like we're all not going to talk, but since the movie's like from his point of view, it would have been nice to have some like inner monologue or something, like his thoughts going on a roll. It could have just been like more crazy or something, but
and mind you, technically we do get talking, but it's you only hear voices on the radio, whether it's the police radio or just the radio. That's it. That's all you get when it comes to voices.
Yeah, there was a couple other sounds. I think at some point the wife does say like 2 words.
She might have mumbled them because I didn't hear it.
Yeah, no, because he's like, it's when I don't know if this was.
No, just
it's when he got something out of the freezer, the bottle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then he was like drinking it, and then he like choked up a little bit, and then he was like, I think he mouthed "help me," and then she was like, "How can I?" or something like that, and then he like walked off. But I was just like, is that it?
Yeah,
disappointing.
That part was just they could have made it work.
Yeah,
but I guess they didn't know how. They really just didn't. And throughout the entire film, I mean, there's a lot of films where most films require suspension of disbelief, but this film takes it to another level. The entire film, like, if I'm really enjoying a film, I'm able to push these things aside. But I was just so much not enjoying it that the entire film I was like, that's such a coincidence. What a coincidence that was there. What a coincidence that you ran into these people as soon as you turned the corner. Like, X amount of things. Everything was so coincidental. And then tying it in with that, there was so many situations where I was like, how are they still going? They just got, like, capped with, like, 8 to 10 bullets. And then they just get up and, like, there's movies, again, like John Wick, where they'll do that too, but, like, take some water, like, get themselves back up, and, like, you can see them heaving, and, like, it's hard work for them to be able to throw that punch or do something, right? As opposed to in this film, it's like nothing happened. They get shot, they get stabbed or something, and they just keep it going.
Yeah, the NPCs, if you will, were just like toppling left and right. But the main character guy, he did get beat up, and you could tell he was struggling a little bit to like walk and whatnot. And then there was a scene where they were in that building that had stairs that was very reminiscent of the John Wick scene in his last movie where he just has the vertical stairs and there's people coming at him and he stumbles and has to go all the way back to the top. And I was like, that's a little
It's just so much better because of the choreography. This movie was clearly, and I mean,
zero
so
choreography
look,
here.
There's another tangent we can save for the end, but like, there's other movies who have tried to do the John Wick formula and they do it right. Like Nobody is a great film, for example, with Bob Odenkirk is a fantastic film. This movie doesn't do it right. They try to do a lot of John Wicky things without saying what it is, and they just came off as cringe, or they came off as like out of place.
More like John Wish.
And when I saw those things, I was like, why? That feels so out of place. That feels wrong. It doesn't make sense. But on the bright side, at least say like ended the film and ended it. Like there's nothing to keep you wanting more, really.
What else more could you want? The specific scene that I was thinking about that felt super out of place was when the bad guy is dancing with the high girl.
That's what I'm talking about too.
And they're just slow dancing in like a Santa outfit, and it feels very out of place. And then the room itself also feels very out of place.
Exactly. That's what I didn't want to say exactly what it was, but that like
whoops, spoiler.
That scene is what I'm talking about when it comes to like it felt out of place from the world and the entire movie. It felt out of place. But yeah. Terrible, but
don't do it.
I don't think there's much else to say about this film, really, to keep it short and concise. But yeah, I would have to give it a 1 out of 10 for effort. Just 1 for effort. 1 out of 10. Just they tried. They made a movie. They actually got it out there. They sort of tried. I mean, it's interesting seeing that this is from John Woo, and like I was looking at his filmography again. He did like Mission Impossible 2, and then I think he might have done 3 as well. And then of course he did Face Off. He did a couple of movies with Jackie Chan and stuff. So he clearly like knows what he's doing. I just don't know if he wasn't that involved. I don't know if he was like actually the director or not. I don't know. There must have been something going on behind the scenes, but like it just seemed like a cool premise and an interesting setup and a couple of cool people to work with, but it just didn't work out. It didn't. I was really hoping, we were talking about this in the car, I was really hoping for another Christmas action flick. How a lot of people consider Die Hard to be a Christmas movie.
This was not a Die Hard.
And Violent Night that came out last year with David Harbour, where he's Santa Claus.
That's the type of movie
I was hoping for that. And they make it seem almost that, because the poster shows like a sweater, like a Christmas sweater in the back as he's holding his gun like this. But you hear maybe like a single Christmas song in the film, and then the credit song is a Christmas film, and
it's Silent Night.
It's Silent Night. Sorry, Christmas song. But yes, the whole thing, the shebang, the climax of the film takes place on Christmas Eve, but there's nothing to signify like this is Christmas.
Yeah,
You're not,
like he wasn't even wearing like a hat.
Weren't decorated or anything. There are a little bit of wonkiness, But anyways, I could keep ranting on about that, but that's what I was hoping for, and it wasn't it. It was a big letdown.
Yeah. I give it a 0 out of 10. I should have gone to go see Beyonce instead.
I was like, we should have just walked out and seen Godzilla again. But save your time, save your money. I'm not even going to ask you if you've seen this film, but if you did or plan on seeing this film...
Maybe don't.
If you plan on seeing this film, don't. If you're curious about it, still go see it. Come back here, let us know what you thought about it. Bash on it with us. Join us in the comments. Like this video if you thought it was fun and entertaining. Dislike it if you thought it sucked. Dislike it if you hated the movie.
No, don't do that. Like this one if you hated the movie.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And save your time. Go see Beyonce. Go see Godzilla. Go see anything else. There's better stuff in the theater right now. Save your money. Till next time.